Hi, Ben here from Trident Fly Fishing. I'm here to kick off our 2016 gear review season with the most exciting rod release of the year. Yes, I'm talking about the Sage X. Now, if you follow the blogs, you've read lots and lots about this rod. We're gonna be the first to actually get out, cast it, and show you what it's all about. Now let's take a look, starting with the reel seat, and show you some of the features on this new rod. Starting at the bottom, we've got an aluminum single up locking reel seat with a laser etched line weight. This is pretty nice if you've got a lot of rods on your rack and you want to be able to grab it quickly. You'll know which one it is. Moving on up, we've got a burled wood insert, which is pretty standard on most trout rods today. That moves into Sage's very standard snub nose half wels grip, and it's a grip we really like. It's very comfortable, even if you have larger hands. And of course, being a Sage, it's finished with nothing but top-notch cork. Moving on up, we've got what Sage calls a black spruce blank. And what that is a black blank with a little hint of green in it. So if you hold it in bright sunlight, you really see a little bit of green coming out. And that rod is finished with dark green thread wraps, which really make it look pretty nice, but also pretty similar to a standard black rod that we've seen from Sage many, many times. After that, everything is just standard Sage. So we've got our hard chrome stripping guide, followed by our hard chrome snake guides. Now, we're gonna get on to the more fun and more important part about this rod, which is how it casts. So let's go check it out. For our first distance, we've got the Sage X at 30 feet. And I've got to be honest, this is our second take, because the first time around, I didn't really have a good feel on this rod. It's a rod that you really have to slow down a little bit on. It's not a Sage 1. And what does that mean? It means it's actually really accurate at 30 feet. And it provides a really delicate presentation. I'm gonna say this is a 9.5 out of 10 at 30 feet. Moving back to 45 feet, which we sort of think about as our key trout distance, the Sage X performs really well. And I'm able to really feel the difference between the X and the 1 at this distance, where the 1 feels like it's ready to unleash and explode with power. The X is softer, subtler, and I'm able to make a lot better of a presentation. On the other hand, it also takes a little bit of time to get used to, because I'm not trying to power the cast and really flex the rod to get it to perform. It just performs a lot better under most circumstances than the 1 did. I really think that if you're an intermediate caster, this rod is going to make a lot more sense than some of the really super fast options that Sage has out there. I'm going to give this rod a 9 out of 10 at 45 feet. Moving back to 60 feet, you really start to get a feel for how the Sage X performs. I was expecting a rod that was similar to the Sage 1, where you just blast it out there and it goes to 60 feet. The Sage X is not that. It's a much more moderate rod that wants you to pause and really let the rod do the work. And when it does that, the accuracy is really, really fantastic. The downside of that is, if you're looking for a rod that's gonna reach to infinity, this is probably not the rod for you. It's definitely not a method. It doesn't feel like a method. It doesn't perform like a method. That said, if I'm making the 60-foot cast on the water all day long, and particularly for that intermediate caster, this rod is going to work really, really well. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 at 60 feet. Overall, the new X Series is designed for the everyman trout angler. If you're looking for a slightly more moderated, fast action rod that's going to be forgiving and work for every situation, East Coast to West Coast or everywhere in between, this is going to be a great rod for you. It's not going to be the rod that's going to win you every casting competition like we've seen from Sage in the past. The new X Series retails for $895 and is available starting August 1st at tridentflyfishing.com. If you have questions, comments about this rod, you can leave a message in the box below or give us a call at 888-413-5211. And of course, we're also available 24/7 via email at support@tridentflyfishing.com. I'm Ben, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.